That meeting will come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of this board is final. In respect, it does not go to the mayor, city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in a court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. Final decision on land use is made by the mayor and city council. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bias? Mr. Alessio?
Here.
Mr. Noctree?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Ms. Rohr? Here. Mr. Hennessy?
Here.
First order of duty would be to approve the minutes from February 15th.
Motion be in order.
So move.
We have motion second to approve the minutes.
Second.
Call the board.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr? Abstain. Mr. Alessio?
Abstain.
Mr. Hennessy?
Well, we can't approve them, can we? I
We
vote
did
aye.
get legal advice a few months ago that even if board members are not at the meeting, you can still vote.
Just vote the majority of members present voted aye.
Next would be
Let's go.
citizens to be heard on agenda items. Anybody that would like to speak on an agenda item can do so at this time, but please know at this board that we do allow you to speak when the case is called. But if anybody would like to speak now, they can do so. Seeing none, next would be old business for public hearing. We have none. New business public hearing. First case is 2024-05. The applicant is Michael Turdick. The location is 712 Wilcox Street. The request is a series of variations. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting the following variations to allow the construction of a single-family home on the lot at 712 Wilcox Street. Variation to reduce a required side yard setback from 8 to 6.5 feet. Variation to reduce a required sum of side yards from 20 feet to 13 feet. Variation to reduce the required lot area from 7,500 square feet to 4,375 square feet, and variation to reduce the required lot width from 60 feet to 35 feet are all up for requests. Subject lot is held common ownership with the lot at 710 Wilcox Street, which contains a 2-unit residence. Zoning ordinance states that lots under single ownership, which do not on their own meet the lot width and area requirements for the applicable zoning district shall be considered as a single parcel and thus would need approval of a variation to be developed individually. Zoning Board of Appeals makes a final decision on these variation requests. Under site-specific information, the subject property is a vacant lot that is 35 feet wide and 125 feet deep, 4,375 square feet total. The lot has the same owner as the adjacent property at 710 Wilcox Street, which contains a 2-unit residence built around 1915. The properties were both purchased by the owner in 2021. The lot at 712 Wilcox Street is zoned R2, single-family residential, and has never contained a residence. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located in the Bicentennial Bluffs neighborhood on the east side of Wilcox Street, north of the intersection with Mason Avenue and Plainfield Road. The property is surrounded by single and 2-family residences with R2 and R3 zoning. Block contains a mix of 1- and 2-story homes on narrow lots that are similar to what is proposed on the subject property. Under applicable regulations, section 47-6.4 R2 district yard and lot requirements, section 47-17.221 non-conforming lots of record, section 47-19.8 finding of facts supporting a variation, and you could refer to the attachment. Under discussion, the approval of the requested variations would allow a new single-family home to be constructed on an existing vacant lot. The Petitioners are requesting to reduce the side yard setbacks to 6.5 feet to allow a 22-foot wide house on the 35-foot wide lot. Petitioner also needs to request variations on minimum lot width and lot area because the lot is in common ownership with the adjacent lot at 710 Wilcox Street, and the city's ordinance requires that 2 or more lots in common ownership are considered as one parcel if the individual lots do not meet the minimum lot area and lot width requirements. Petitioner has provided a proposed site plan, elevations, and floor plans, which are attached. The proposed home would be 2 stories with a covered front porch. House meets the required front yard and rear yard setbacks. 2 parking spaces are required and would be provided on a paved surface off the rear alley. Other lots along the east side of the street are also 35 feet, while the lots on the west side are mainly 40 feet wide. Proposed house would be in character with the existing homes along this street. Under conditions, we have none, and that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner here. Step forward, please. I'll swear you in. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes,
Name and address, please.
712 Wilcox.
Yeah, and your name for the record.
Michael J. Turdick, Senior.
Thank you. Any comments you'd like to make?
No, this, it's gonna maybe build a nice house there.
Put your hand down.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's, I thought I was just gonna put up a nice house, on the property over there, and Jim's dealt with me for several years. I've always built stuff for this, over here in the city of Joliet. And, I don't know, it goes back to 2005. I've been dealing with the city, and I've always listened whatever they wanted and go with the flow, and that's about it. Whatever they tell me, and they were, so.
That it? Okay, thank you. Any questions by the board? Is anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for a discussion and a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Pull the vote.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr? Aye. Mr. Alessio? Aye. Mr. Noctre?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next case on the agenda would be 2024-06. The petitioner is Sam Van Bruggen. The property owner is Leonard McHenry. Location is 7801 Caton Farm Road. Request is a series of variations on signage. Under purpose, the petitioner is requesting a series of variations on signage located at 7801 Caton Farm Road. The Zoning Board of Appeals makes a final decision for the requested variations. Under site-specific information, the subject property received a special use permit to allow a fueling center with an automobile service station and car washing establishment in a B3 zoning district in 2022. The fueling center consists of 14 standard fuel pumps, an 8,000 square foot convenience store and restaurant, 3 fueling lanes for trucks, and a car wash to the north. Under surrounding zoning land use and character, to the north is R2 single-family residential, same to the east and south. To the west is B3 and Walgreens, and all these commercial uses are there. Under applicable regulations, section 4717.21 signs, 47-17.213N, only 1 monument sign, and 47-17.213BB, criteria for granting a sign variation, and you could refer to the attachment. Under discussion, the petitioner is requesting variations to allow an additional monument sign and to allow 6 signs that do not face a public way. Section 47-17.213N of the city's sign ordinance permits only 1 monument sign per street front in a general business zone. The proposed sign location plot shows 2 monument signs adjacent to each of the property's access points off Caton Farm Road. City sign ordinance also requires signage to face a public way. Signs designated in the sign location plot as signs B and E would be located on the east and west sides of the gas station canopy facing private access drives. Sign designated as signs K, G, and F would be located on the east and west sides of the convenience store building, also facing the private access drives. Sign L is an awning sign that would be located on the north side of the convenience store building and would face a northern access drive that separates the convenience store building from the car wash facility to the north. After additional review, city staff determined that signs T and U, which are circled on the sign location plot, do not require variations and are permitted as of the right. Proposed signs meet all other requirements within the city's sign ordinance and meet the criteria stipulated for a variation within section 47-17.213BB of the ordinance. Proposed fueling center contains several uses that likely necessitate individual signage and wayfinding. Property also contains a common access drive that borders the north, east, and west sides of the convenience store building, provides additional opportunities for sign frontage. Staff does not believe the proposed variations would be a detriment to the use, orderly development, and enjoyment of the property, and that approval of the requested variations would not be contrary to the objective of improving the overall appearance of the city. Conceptual sign elevations are attached to this staff report, and under conditions, we have none, and that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner?
Sam Van
Must swear both of you. You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law.
I do.
Name and address of both.
Sam Van Bruggen of Van Bruggen Signs, 13401 Southwest Highway, Orland Park.
And Kim Farback of Gas and Wash, 8200 185th Street, Suite K, Tinley Park, Illinois.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
We're here before you asking for variance for the monument sign and then the wall signs. It's a little bit of a unique site because of the shared access driveways that go around the north side of the building and the east side of the building. Because there's two drive-throughs and multiple businesses with food offerings and the car wash, the car wash is located on the back of the property. So we're just trying to give good direction as to the different offerings that are there. There's two drive-throughs and so forth. The monument sign, we're requesting a second one because the car wash is located on the lot behind the fueling operation and C-store. And so it's kind of hard to see from Caton Farm Road. So that's why we're asking for the second monument sign.
Do you have anything to say, ma'am?
No, since we share an access road, we're requesting the monument sign just for good direction, for customer service, for the customers to know the direction where the car wash is located. Also for the back of the building, the awning for Jimmy John's, just so they can see the difference between the two drive-throughs, just to establish that for the customer base.
Okay, any questions by the board?
Yeah, I have one. We on the council, on the zoning board, received a message from a person in the city, I think expressing concern about the monument sign, although it wasn't clear to me which sign it was, saying that it could block visibility for people trying to pull out onto the access road.
There should be no problem with the visibility. It's set back far enough from the property line that when you are coming out of the access road driveway onto Caton Farm, there should be no visibility issues.
And we have a visibility triangle requirement that when they submit for their permit, we will review and make sure that they are outside of that visibility triangle. They cannot be in there based on our code.
Okay. In other words, it's not an issue, or do you still need to work on it?
No, we don't think it's an issue.
Okay.
Any further questions? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board.
Ms. Rohr? Aye. Mr. Alessio?
Aye.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next application is 2024-07. The applicant is Forte Academy Incorporated. Owner is Bays, 1414 Jefferson LLC. Location is 1418 West Jefferson Street. The request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow a non-public therapeutic day school located at 1418 West Jefferson Street. The Zoning Board of Appeals is the final decision-making body for this special use permit request. Under site-specific information, the subject property is around 3.8 acres total and contains an approximately 26,800 square foot commercial building with 3 tenant spaces. The proposed school would occupy the middle tenant space, which is approximately 7,100 square feet. The Royal Palace Event Center occupies the eastern tenant space, and the Illinois Department of Human Services Office of Rehabilitation occupies the western tenant space. The main entrance for the school would be located on the rear south side of the building, off of the rear parking area. There are currently 2 loading doors in this location. If the special use is approved, an entrance and ramp will be built here as part of the tenant build-out for the school. Site has additional parking along the west portion of the property. In total, the site has around 179 parking spaces. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the site is located on the south side of Jefferson Street, near the southwest corner of Jefferson Street and Midland Avenue. Zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is B1 neighborhood business. There's commercial uses there. To the south is R4 multifamily residential. There's residential uses there. To the east is B1 neighborhood business and R2 commercial uses to the east. To the west is B3 with commercial uses. Under applicable regulations, section 47-5.2A2, special uses in the R1 district, section 47-5.2C, criteria for issuance of a special use permit, and you could refer to the attachment for that. Under discussion, the petitioner Forte Academy Incorporated is requesting a special use permit to allow a non-public therapeutic day school serving children in grades 9 through 12. Forte Academy provides the educational services to students with autism and intellectual disabilities. Students are primarily referred from the local public school districts when the students' identified needs match the services that Forte is licensed to provide. Forte has an existing location at 220 North Larkin Avenue in Joliet, which has been in operation since February 2023. Serves grades 3 through 12. Zoning Board of Appeals approved a special use permit for the Larkin Avenue location in April 2022. Forte Academy provides a full educational curriculum in addition to other services such as speech, physical, and occupational therapy, which would be provided as needed. This location would have 6 classrooms as well as a multi-purpose room, an art room, and several sensory rooms. And you could see the attached floor plans for this. Each classroom will have a teacher and an additional supervisor. Illinois State Board of Education has licensed the school for up to 10 students per room. Forte expects to have a maximum of 60 students at any given time at this location. In total, the school expects to employ approximately 12 to 15 full-time staff members. Hours of operation would be 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Property has a large parking area with paved parking on both the west side and the south side of the building. Parking is shared among the 3 building tenants. The hours for the event center are in the evenings and thus offset from those of the proposed school, so the parking supply is adequate. Transportation for the students who have been referred from the local school districts is provided by those districts. The buses or vans would drop off and pick up the students at the main entrance, which will be located on the south side of the building off of the rear parking lot. Parking area is large enough for the buses or vans to circulate the site. The City of Joliet zoning ordinance provides that schools are special uses in the B3 zoning district and that such uses must be located at least 40 feet from any lot in a residential district. Tenant space is over 40 feet from east property line, which is adjacent to a commercial use with both B1 and R2 zoning. Under conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included. 1, that the special use shall terminate if certificate of occupancy or permits are not pulled in 180 days. And second and last, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it may be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner present. You swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law.
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Thomas Planera, I'm the serving president of Forte Academy, Inc., at 220 North Larkin, Joliet.
Do you have any comments?
He did such a fine job, I don't want to mess it up.
Right, that's why we have him here.
We already are operating on 220 North Larkin, literally around the corner on Jefferson and Larkin from this site. This site just happens to be even more perfect than the one we have, and we're hoping that the board takes that into consideration to help continue us to have these schools available for the much-needed services that the normal schools need for autistic and special needs. Thank you.
Are you keeping the Larkin Avenue?
So yes.
Okay.
This is in addition to that.
Okay.
So you're taking 9 through 12, was it? 9 through 12?
This new one is going to be 9 through 12.
So that means 9 through 12 will leave that building and come over?
No,
No, you're.
in addition to.
In addition.
Yeah, I mean, then they'll phase out the 9 through 12. In the first building, there'll be more of the 5, the director shares, well, 5 through 7? 5 through 7, and this one focuses strictly on 9 through 12.
Great.
Any other questions? Comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board.
Mr. Alessio.
Aye.
Mr. Nactree.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Rohr. Aye. Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda would be old new business, not for final action or recommendation. We have none. After that would be public comments. If this section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding non-agenda items, are allowed a maximum of 4 minutes. If there's anybody in attendance that would like to speak on non-agenda items, they can do so at this time. Seeing none, you can adjourn.
Motion to adjourn would be in order.
So move.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.